You know, the streets of Karachi have a new set of eyes, and they are completely changing the game for every single driver in the city. We're talking about the new automated E-Challan system. So, what is it? How does it even work? And most importantly, what does it mean for you? Let's dive in and break it all down.
I mean, it's a question you've probably asked yourself, right? When you're stuck in traffic? Well, now there's a very real answer. It's not just a traffic warden anymore. It's a whole network of high-tech cameras, and believe me, they are always on.
So what exactly is this system? Well, the Sin Police introduced it, and in simple terms, it's a totally automated way of catching and ticketing traffic violations. You can almost think of it as a digital traffic warden that uses cameras to spot you breaking a rule and then issues a fine, all without ever having to pull you over.
Okay, so it's a digital warden, got it. But how does it actually see you? Well, it all comes down to some seriously clever technology that's being installed on major roads all across the city. The real secret sauce here is something called automatic number plate recognition, or ANPR cameras. Now, these aren't your average security cameras. Oh no, they're specifically built to read your license plate with incredible accuracy, even if you're flying down the road. And they're programmed to catch a whole list of violations. You know, the obvious stuff like speeding or running a red light, but also things like not wearing your seatbelt, or if you're on a bike, not having a helmet on. They'll even get you for driving the wrong way down a street.
Right. So the camera catches you. What happens next? How does that split-second flash turn into an official fine showing up at your house? Let's follow the journey of that ticket.
It all starts, of course, with the capture. The camera records the violation. But the real magic, if you can call it that, is the identify step. Your license plate is instantly matched with your records at the Sindh Excise Department. From there, it's a straight shot to notify, where a ticket is sent to your registered address. And here's the part you really need to pay attention to: the consequence. You have to pay that fine on time, otherwise things can escalate, and we're talking about things getting serious, like potentially even getting your license suspended.
You know, when this system first went live, the impact wasn't just noticeable, it was huge. The numbers from just the first few days tell a pretty shocking story about the city's driving habits. It was a serious wake-up call for a lot of people.
Get this, on the very first day, the system issued over 2,600 E-Challans, 2650. That's not in a week, not in a month, that was in the first 24 hours. It just goes to show you the massive scale of violations that were probably just being missed before.
And what about the financial hit? Just as staggering. Within the first 6 hours, not even a full workday, the system had issued fines totaling over 12.5 million rupees. That's just a crazy number, and it really shows you how widespread these little infractions really are.
So, what were people getting caught for the most? You might be surprised. The overwhelming majority, more than 1,500 of those tickets, were for not wearing a seatbelt. Wild, right? After that, it was motorcyclists without helmets and then overspeeding. It's like a data-driven snapshot of what was happening on the roads that very first day.
Okay, so the system is here to stay, and it's clearly very good at its job. So what does this all mean for you, the everyday driver? Well, this next part is basically your survival guide to navigating this new reality.
All right, so how do you stay on top of this? First, and I cannot stress this enough, update your details. If your address with the excise department is old, you might never even see the ticket until it's way too late. Second, be proactive and check your status. Don't just wait for a letter in the mail. And finally, know the rules. This system is watching for more than just speeding. It's looking for phone use, illegally tinted windows, the whole 9 yards.
And look, if you do get a ticket, you absolutely cannot afford to just ignore it. The system actually has a pretty big financial incentive to get you to act fast. If you pay within 14 days, you could get a 50% discount. But if you let it slide for more than 21 days, that same fine could literally double. The message is pretty clear. Just pay it quickly.
And honestly, it's not just about the money. Letting these fines pile up can lead to much more severe consequences. We're talking about the potential for your driver's license to get suspended. And in some really extreme cases, authorities have even floated the idea of having your CNIC blocked. This system has some serious teeth.
But is this technology the perfect solution for Karachi's crazy traffic problems? Like any huge new system, it's definitely got its critics and its challenges. So let's take a fair look at the progress it represents versus the real-world problems it's running into.
Yeah, this question really gets to the heart of it all.
I mean, on the one hand, it's a huge step towards modernizing things and bringing some order to the streets. But on the other hand, is it being rolled out in a way that's truly effective and, maybe more importantly, is it fair for everyone?
When you break it down, the benefits are pretty clear. It pushes people towards better road discipline, it can reduce on-the-spot bribery, and it provides clear photo evidence. But the challenges are just as real. Drivers point to things like faded lane markings or poor road conditions. And maybe the system's biggest weakness is its reliance on outdated address records, not to mention the reports of official apps and websites just not working reliably.
And this quote right here, this says it all. It captures such a common and frustrating problem. Someone can be racking up fines and penalties and have absolutely no idea, all because the tickets are being sent to an old address they haven't lived at for years. It just shows you the huge gap between a fancy digital system and the messy reality of people's lives.
So that leaves us with this one big, crucial question. Look, automated enforcement is definitely the future for big cities all over the world. But for that tech to be truly effective and fair, the city's basic infrastructure, everything from its administrative records to the very paint on its roads, has to be ready to support it. Is Karachi there yet? The cameras are on, but is the rest of the city truly ready for them?